So I guess without further ado, we can start off with Chris Horn. If Sean, you want to bring him in.
Sure. So Chris is here. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
So everyone on the stream, this is Chris Horn. He's our lead level designer. Chris,
Hi.
would you like to say anything about yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Chris Horn. I'm the lead level designer on Black Mesa. I've been on the team now since late 2005, so about nearly 10 years. So yeah, I've been doing level design since I was 14, which is getting on now for 18 years. So yeah. For example, in Question of Ethics, which was my main chapter, the one which I designed from scratch fully and did through that. There are tiny little sub-stories all over the place which integrate for each character. These are non-playable characters that you don't even see the characters. Sometimes you see their corpses, but you don't actually see the characters, you don't interact with them. But you get the sense of story. There's a section, for example, in Question of Ethics, where you see a maintenance cupboard with some blooded footprints leading away from it and a drag mark. And just from those tiny little environmental details, you can tell that there's been a murder there. That the soldiers that you meet in the corridor have murdered the maintenance guy and have dragged his corpse into the maintenance cupboard. And all that's left is the mop and bucket outside. And the whole purpose of that is for you to see that, to feel enraged and go and deal with the soldiers that have done it as kind of the eponymous knight in shining high reactive impact armor. It's those sub-details that really bring it out, and a lot of people, when they play through a game, miss those details because they want to get to the end, they're running through it quickly. One of the things I love doing is really taking my time and looking at all the details in the level, which a lot of the modern games have lost because of production value and getting the game out in 2 years. Because we spent such a long time, we've built a lot of that into it. When I designed the ARG was actually designed to get people looking around at the details, to actually really dig deep into the design of each level on the game. And so far the ARG is still going. I feel kind of mean because it's got to a point where we had some people from Cambridge Computer Labs which do a lot of computer cracking, and I had to increase the difficulty to keep it going for it. So it has increased in difficulty, but there is a solution to it. But the key is to keep looking for clues in the game. And you'll come across all kinds of little nuggets of information, little mini storylines. The story of Dr. Horn, which of course is my character, who develops and invents the Tau cannon in Question of Ethics. You can find his shack on the cliffs, which is actually an Easter egg that you have to unlock on the Cliffside map, which is another one of my maps. One of the ones I'm most proud of. And there's pizzas hidden throughout all the different levels. And that it's those little details that I think really brings our game out from being a mod. It's more than a mod. It's more than just a tweak to another game. It's a full redevelopment, and that's one of the things I really like about the enhancements that we've done.
You can see all that kind of passion and the time that we put into it, and those minute details you were talking about earlier about like the narrative story and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've even added a few extra bits of that. We've got the EAS marketing, which we've been doing, the little ARG stuff. We've integrated more of that into the game. We'll probably do more of that later as well. That opens up new storyline potential for it. It's just these little sub details which I really like. I'm kind of really obsessed with putting small details in, because it's often the smallest details that add the most to a game, in my opinion. You may not notice it, people may run past it, but if just one person notices it, that's enough for me. It gets me going.
Yeah, I mean it's the small details that I fully agree that I think that the small details really make things, and they're all over the place. So if this is your first time playing Black Mesa, like you just picked it up today, or if you played the mod and you picked up the game today, or if you just played the mod, I mean, go through and look for those small things, because I guarantee they're all over the place. You play through it once or twice, you probably will find something new that you haven't seen in a previous playthrough. So, is there anything else you would like to add about single player or just the game in general? Anything specific that maybe you want people to look for, or that you're most proud of from it?
Oh, Most proud of probably the questionable ethics chapter, but there's lots of different things. I mean, I've worked on every chapter in the game. So we do mostly bug fixes, mostly fixing stuff. The engine gets a bit there. A lot of the work which goes into it, yeah, I could say I'm proud of all of it, but yeah, there's little bits which I'm most proud of. I think that will most likely be Zen once it's complete and out there.
Turret Cube has asked, is there any unused content that you kind of wish could have made it into this version of the game, but you had to cut later?
Ooh, that actually is quite an interesting one. Again, going back to the questionable ethics chapter, was originally designed to be twice the size of what it is now, but unfortunately the engine itself can't handle that much detail. The map itself, the main map with the lobby in it, it's so far over the limits of what the 2007 engine can handle. We actually have to delete out props whilst you're playing it in order for the game to not crash. It goes over the entity limit by about 120%, which is ridiculous. But we managed to get that to work.
Thank you, Chris, for joining us.
No problem.
So, all right. Again, thank you very much, Chris.
That's okay. Can I go and drink my wine now?
Yes, you are more than welcome to go and drink
Excellent.
your wine.
And maybe go and kill Chon a bit.
Nah, don't
Yes.
do that.
I love doing that.
You do it
so,
to me inside every time you criticize my map.
Every time I criticise your map, it makes me happy. I'm going to go do that and let you go and talk to somebody else.
so while Chris goes off and decides which weapon for multiplayer he is going to use to kill Sean, I figured just restate where we are.